Hello, it's Uncommon Fossil, and today taking a look at a new build on a Regidrago VSTAR deck, utilizing the new Charizard EX to accelerate fire energy to it. So, Regidrago VSTAR has always been a nice attacker from it when it first came out. Apex Dragon for grass, fire. You choose the attack of any dragon Pokemon in your discard pile and use its attack. And there's a number of very nice attackers to choose from. The difficulty is getting that grass, fire into play. Arceus has probably been the most successful way to do it in general. You could use Lost Zone with Mirage Gate, and you can also try it with Giratina VSTAR. This one uses the new Charizard as well as Leafeon V to get it set up. This Regidrago does have a very nice V-Star power, also Legacy Star ability. During a turn, you may discard the top 7 cards of your deck, then put up to 2 cards from your discard pile into your hand. Get some of those dragon attackers that you want to copy into the discard pile, and then you get any 2 cards from the discard pile into hand, including cards that were already in the discard pile. You're not just restricted to those 7 new cards you discarded. So a very nice V-Star ability there. You will enjoy taking use of that. The V is useful. Let me find it here so I can talk about that for a second. There we go. We play a 3-3 line, by the way, of the Regidrago V and V-Star. Celestial Roar. You can, if you're going second, hey, you discard the top 3 cards of your deck. Again, you want to get those other dragon attackers in the discard pile. If any of those cards are energies, attach them to this Pokemon. So, hey, you go second. You might use this to help power yourself up. It's not the worst thing in the world, although we do have a better option, I think. And then the Dragon Laser attack does 130 and 30 to a bench Pokemon. You don't really want to attack with the V, of course, but sometimes if the V is in the discard pile, this is the best attacking option. If your 130 knocks out the active, like say against a Lost Zone deck, hitting 30 onto a bench Pokemon is a plus as well. All right, let's talk about how we power it up first, and then we'll take a look at the attacking options we have. So as I said, we're utilizing the Charizard EX from Obsidian Flames with the Infernal Rain ability. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may search your deck for up to 3 basic fire energy cards and attach them to your Pokemon any way you like. So therefore, and Charizard's a nice attacker also. We certainly utilize this in the deck because he does play fire energy. So you can put 2 fire energy on your Charizard and 1 fire energy onto your Regidrago, and now you've paid the fire on your Regidrago. You still have to get 2 grass on, of course, but it does get the fire on. And Charizard's a nice attacker. 180 early on's not bad, and of course the damage with Burning Darkness ramps up, right? 180 for 2 fire, but then 30 more for each prize card your opponent's taken. So a nice way to help things set up there, and also a nice alternate attacker. But we also play Leafeon V. You should be familiar with this in a Regidrago deck, or at least if not, now you're aware of it. It's largely here for Greening Cell's ability. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a grass energy, attach it to one of your Pokemon, shuffle your deck. If you use this ability, your turn ends. So especially, it's an evolution deck. You want to go first if you can. You get your Leafeon V in play, and you get an extra energy accelerate, right? You attach, say, a grass energy to your Regidrago, accelerate grass energy, and then you just need to attach or accelerate with the Charizard. The fire energy the next turn, you're set to attack, so it really increases the odds of attacking with the Regidrago on turn 2, because that's really what it's all about, getting that attack off turn 2. We also play, because the Charizards are around, right, and they're weak to grass, we are playing a Leafeon VMAX as well. It's a 1-1 line. Normally, it didn't play this in the past, but the attack is useful to take out those one-shot opposing Charizard. It does 60 per retreat cost. Now, Charizard there is a retreat cost of 2, so that doesn't do enough. It does 120 times 2. But then 170 times 2 will get there, right? That is 340. So max leaf, 3 energies, and you heal 30 from it. And so it is fairly tanky. Of course, if your Charizard opponent's playing some of the fire attackers, well, you're weak there. But one-shotting a Charizard EX is a nice option here for sure. It's a 2-2 Charizard line, by the way, with Rare Candy, as you'd expect. So the other setup Pokemon before I get the attackers is the Squawkabilly EX for Squawk and Seize, right? Only use the ability during turn 1. your first turn, but you discard your hand, draw 6, get those dragons in the discard pile and set up. A nice option for a lot of decks, and very good in any deck that wants things in the discard. So our attacking options here, pretty straightforward. Nothing too crazy here. Dragonite, the single prizer to stage 2, but hey, we just copy it from the discard pile, so stage 2s aren't a problem. In fact, it's nice because we don't have to worry about ever starting it. It's really here for this second attack. Energy Hurricane does 180. The attack cost of this is 4 energy, but that doesn't matter. We just play the energy cost on the Regidrago. So 180, which is very solid. And then you search your deck for the 3 basic energies and attach them to your Pokemon any way you like. Shuffle your deck. So we can copy this attack and set up a Regidrago VSTAR for another one for the following turn. That's why it's here. Duraludon VMAX. Very nice. Does 220, and not affected by effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So if there's something that's trying to wall you off, don't worry about it. Copy this, and 220 is a very nice number. Yeah, it's very good. This is kind of one of the attacks that I really like in the deck. Giratina VSTAR. This is the big hitter, right? Lost impact for 2. It does 280, so one-shotting a lot of important Pokemon. Now the problem is you do have to lost zone 2 energy cards when you do it. So that doesn't have to come from your attacking Regidrago, but it has to come from the board somewhere. And so, are you going to be able to have the energy in play the next turn to attack again? Be careful with this attack. It's obviously important to one-shot things, but if you can't attack for a turn or two, you might get yourself in trouble. So it's nice to close games out, or sometimes, obviously, you do need to use it. So keep it in mind. The VSTAR attack you can't use because you need 10 in the lost zone, and it's not going to happen. Noivern EX, a very nice include in the deck since that came out in Paldea Evolved. 2 attacks, both of which you need to keep in mind. Covert Flight does 70, and your Pokemon attacking your Regidrago is immune to damage from basic Pokemon the next turn. Sorry, so a nice wall there. Very good for sure. And then Dominating Echo does 140, and your opponent can't play a special energy or stadium from hand the next turn. So that also, depending on the matchup, is very important. And then the last attacker, Hisuian Goodra VSTAR, Rolling Iron, 200 damage, and then your Pokemon takes 80 less damage from attacks the next turn. So that's very nice, right? So it takes your Regidrago VSTAR at 270, or no, at, what's the HP on it? I keep losing it. It's 280, yeah, 280, and then you get an extra 80 to get knocked out. So it's basically not getting one shot. So very nice there. A nice set of attackers to choose from. This list plays 6 fire, 7 grass. Traditionally, you didn't play this many fire, but because of the not the Radiant, but because the Charizard EX, obviously we have bumped up the fire energy in the build. Still more grass, of course, because we need 2 grass to the 1 fire for Regidrago's attack. All right, getting into the supporters here. For Ultra Ball, need to search for Pokemon, evolutions, get things in the discard, particularly those other Pokemon we have. 3 rare candies. We need to get probably 1, maybe 2 at the most, right? Is the most Charizards we can evolve, so 3 rare candy is fine. 1 escape rope, and okay, we don't play a basic switch in this list. Maybe I want to add that in, but 1 escape rope is certainly useful. We have a couple stadiums that give some value and allow us to bump Path, because Path, of course, is around a lot. It stops our Charizard EX from powering things up, and it stops our Leafeon V from accelerating those energies, so Path is annoying. Primordial Altar, once during each player's turn, they can look at the top card of their deck and they may discard it if they want. If you don't discard it, it just goes back on top. So you always want to utilize it even if you don't want to discard, because it gives you some information about what you're going to top deck next. And you can discard, obviously you want to discard those dragon attackers. 1 Jacq searches for 2 evolution Pokemon. It gets you 2, right? If you Jacq and then you Ultra Ball after, you Jacq, get 2 of those dragon evolutions. You want to discard, Ultra Ball both of those away. Get the Pokemon that you want to play down, like a Regidrago V or VSTAR. It's a nice combination there. 4 Battle VIP Pass, just you want to hit that turn 1, so we play 4 to give the give yourself decent odds of hitting one. 2 Iono. You know what it does. I'm not going to read it. If you don't, take a look at it. It's a super, super good card. 1 Mesagoza, flip a coin, heads, search your deck for any one Pokemon. Obviously, we get a Pokemon we want to play or one we want to discard with an item or a supporter too. 2 Super Rods, put up to 3 base combination, a combination of any 3 Pokemon and or basic energies from the discard into your deck. Useful there. When Capturing Aroma, you flip a coin, you either get a basic or an evolution, depending on the results of that. So you need both of those types of cards, so Pokemon, so it's not a bad include. Is one the right way to go with the list? It's a bit, maybe that could get adjusted there. 4 Professor's Research, just really good setting up and getting those Pokemon in the discard pile. 1 Choice Belt gets us to some of the numbers we need in some of these matchups. And then the final stadium, the third stadium, Collapsed Stadium, you can't have more than 4 bench Pokemon. So if you have a full bench, you can then get rid of your Leafeon V. Your Squawkabilly EX. I apologize. We don't play Leafeon V in this build. Or some other Pokemon that you don't want to play anymore, something with damage or such, you can get rid of it. And of course, it's a bump to path. And then 3 bosses orders. That's just super, super important, obviously, to win games. So it's a pretty solid build. It's a fun way to play the deck. It's nice. Like Regidrago's good, and this is an alternative way to power that up. I don't know that it's better than the Arceus build as I played it, but it's a lot of fun trying something different out. All right, we'll see what happens here. Obviously, we'd love to go first as an evolution deck. We need to get a Leafeon into play as part of our turn 1. We need to get a Regidrago V in play to evolve it, and we need to get a Leafeon V to get energy onto it. That's what we want to see happen. All right, so we get to go first. Opponent lost the coin toss, so we go. So I will choose first, and we'll see what happens here. All right, not great. Could be worse. Yeah, not bad. So I will probably grab a Squawkabilly and utilize that is what I think I will do. I could rope if I want to switch up my opponent. Okay, that's pretty good too. All right, I'm gonna use the rope. So I will rope first. Get a Regidrago V in the active, so I don't have to switch later. I was thinking I could have left it. I think I want to get the Pineco out of the active. So that was the play there. All right, I want to play the stadium. I want to get Squawkabilly. Now, Squawkabilly could be prized. I don't know that yet. So I'm going to keep research because that's the better card for next turn if I don't get the Squawkabilly. So let's see. But it's here. Nice. So, okay, just peek in. Have the Leafeon, Charizards, Regidragos. Okay, so I have the pieces I need. I have all 3 rare candies. All right, I have some energy prized. Only 4 grass energies in deck. So that's not good. So only 4 grass energies. That's scary. So that means I have 3 grass energy prized, I think, right? If I remember correctly. So that makes me nervous. And I didn't hit Leafeon V, so right now I'm not. Okay, I guess I'm going to discard it because I can't utilize it. So that's not good. Choice. Okay, this is not a good end to this turn. What am I going to do? Yeah, I can accelerate 1 energy if I evolve the Charizard. Obviously Charizard's a nice attacker here. Maybe I should have left the Charmander in the active. I'm now wondering about that play, but it is what it is. If I left the Charmander in the active, I'd have the ability to attack that turn. So I don't. Okay, well my opponent whiffed. All right, so play this. I'm gonna have to research. I only played a 2/2 Charizard line, and did I get rid of a? Okay, I haven't gotten rid of a Rod yet, so I'm just thinking through. I can utilize my ability as well. Maybe I use my ability here because if I hit, oh, and I can get back rope, right? Rope is good too. So I'm going to use my ability here. Okay, so I want to get Rare Candy and Rope. That's what I need to switch. So that's really nice. I don't know if it gets revealed to my opponent or not, so I'm going to evolve. So I want to Rope for sure, because I can do 180. So I can't take out the Arceus. That's one thing I cannot do. But let's see what happens. I do have Boss, though, so I can control what I hit into. The Pineco evolves to Fortress, so they can power up the Arceus next turn. So I'm not sure. Actually, I don't mind hitting into the Arceus, I don't think. So it leaves me a question of, do I... they're not going to knock out my... well, they might, right? I am weak to grass. That is a danger for me for sure. I don't know that I can attack again next turn so well. So that's the question. What can I do next turn? So maybe I want to take out the Combee, right? Because I'm weak to grass. So I'm going to take out the Combee, and yeah, I think that's the play. It's the play I'm making. I don't know if it's the right play. So obviously they're hitting. Okay, so good. Hit a grass energy, so I can attach the grass energy. At this point, I attach grass energy and I research, which is a very nice play this next turn for me if my hand doesn't get disrupted. So they may be able to even hit into me for full damage with the Arceus, but they have to give up 2 prizes to do that, right? They have to not play the Fortress, and they scoop there. So yeah, so they had a weakness advantage against some of my attackers, against the one, up against the Charizard EX, but not obviously against Regidrago because it has no weakness. So got the win against that deck. Let's take a look at another game, see what we can do. All right, see what happens here. Obviously calling heads like I always do, and I won the coin toss, so get to go first then. Hopefully I get a nice setup. Turn 1, we will see. It's not the best start, actually. This is a bad start. I don't have access. All right, Mulligan is good. So Gardevoir, okay. See what happens. Because I don't have any way to get any more Pokemon into play. So it's not great. I guess it's not a complete bust. Now my opponent's playing Gardevoir, playing the Charizard sleeves. They either like Charizard or they're trying to throw off their opponents, right? Which is fine. I mean, it's not against the rules or anything, so that's fine. Okay, they should do something though. That part isn't great. They're thinking or just being slow. I don't know what. Maybe they're distracted. It's happened to me too, getting distracted at times, I gotta say. But come on, let's finish the setup. Just say okay, right? You have your Pokemon. They conceded, so maybe they were just really unhappy with the starting hand. So that's a win, not really a win that showers me with glory, nor the deck, but a win's a win. Let's try to get a game where things actually happen with this deck. I've had a couple wins because my opponent didn't set up. I had a loss because I didn't set up. So hopefully, like to show the deck working. All right, see what happens here. Calling heads. See if I win or lose. I won the coin toss, so very nice there. I will go first. And hopefully, getting some pieces turn 1. Okay, this is good. This is very good. All right, so what do I want to put in the active? I'll put the Charmander in the active now. Okay, it's an obviously rare. It's an interesting set of cards here. So am I up against Chen Pao? I am up against Chen Pao. So I'm going to want to Squawkabilly. Man, I would love to attach this energy too. The question is, I'm going to Squawk and Seize. I'm pretty sure, right? So I think I Squawk and Seize. Well, I'm going to Squawk and Seize. The question is, do I attach the fire energy or not, right? I'd have to play down. Let's see the energy count. As long as I'm okay with energies, I have Leafeon. Only 3 energies. It's not as many fire energies as I would like. That is true. So maybe I want to. All right, there's not. I think I'm going to change my plan and I'm going to pot down Regidrago. I'm going to attach fire. I'm going to switch into the active. I kind of rethought things on the fly. I'm still going to Squawk and Seize. I don't know why Squawkabilly should be highlighted, right? But it's not. So I don't need to hide the information about switching, right? Normally you'd play the rope before you attach the energy, but my opponent doesn't have a choice to make there. All right, Regidrago, this is okay. I don't have any attackers to copy. I have Goodra, and Goodra is a very nice attacker, actually. I don't have a grass energy in hand. I have Iono. I have a decent count of grass energy in deck. So a solid turn 1. I could have one more attacking dragon Pokemon in the discard pile which is what I was thinking originally, right? I was going to grab like a Duraludon VMAX perhaps, because that one-shots Chen Pao, which of course is nice. The Goodra comes up 20 short, which is unfortunate. They're not going to really hit into me this turn, though, I don't think, right? Because they're an evolution deck too. I got the lead going first, so okay, 2 Bidoofs. Bidoof is nice, right? Because I'm obviously vulnerable to Iono late game, so I probably cannot knock them out. It's possible I can, though, of course. So I'm going to take a look at the top card in deck. I can discard it or put it in hand, right? Because I will see it with Iono if I want it in my hand. And I don't want to discard that because no to the discard, because that's a great card to get. So now I'm pretty. Oh, don't play Capturing Aroma. Don't do that. That'd be bad, right? I thought about that. Oh, let me see you grab a poke, but I was like, no, don't do that. All right, so that's a weird set of cards. I'm a little vulnerable here. Next turn, the Goodra though, the damage level's low for them. Maybe I want to use my ability here, right? I think I do. I'll use my V-Star power because I'd like to set something else up. That's what I'll say. All right, 2 cards. This guy and this guy. Very nice here. Okay. Yeah, that's really, really good. So done there. I'll get the Charizard powered up. I'm kind of wasting this one energy. I'm not going to attach the 3rd energy, I don't think, because I only have 2 anyway. Okay, so that doesn't matter. That's right. So that's okay. That's what I needed. So that's good. The Goodra gets the walling effect, right? I have Goodra, so that's all I have. But it does 200. I missed the knockout, unfortunately, but I take 80 less damage the next turn. I'm glad I used my V-Star power ability because I'm probably going to get knocked out. If I get knocked out, though, then Charizard is doing more damage. Then Charizard can one-shot a full HP Chen Pao. They're at 20. Honestly, if they hit into me, I actually can finish them off with Squawkabilly. So that's something to keep in mind, too. So Iono, that's okay. Staring at 2 Battle VIP passes at this point in the game isn't a lot of help. I would love to get those 2 Pokemon in the discard pile, so an Ultra Ball would be awesome, but, you know, I'll probably have to Iono here. So canceling Cologne, but that's just thinning, doesn't do anything. Oh, no, that does. That's not good. So now I just lost my 80 less damage. So that's not good. If I hit a switch, I play rope. I don't play switch. So this is a case where switch would have been a nice card to get. I only would probably play with the 1 copy if I switched the rope to switch anyway, or change the rope to switch. And so let's see. Now that was a waste of a canceling Cologne, right? Because oh wait, it has no abilities, right? So it doesn't cancel effects, right? No, okay, so that canceling Cologne does nothing to me, right? Let's just look at the status effects. Yeah, I can't use abilities, so they were just thinning with that. And I guess that mattered. You know, I could ultimately put a Leafeon. No, nothing matters in terms of canceling Cologne with this game. So thinning their deck with that's fine from their standpoint. Okay. Yeah, I thought it did nothing, then I thought it did, and now I realize it doesn't do anything. And my opponent scoops, and it's been a weird set of games with this deck. I set up okay with that, right? So I've had games where my opponent didn't set up. I've had games where I didn't set up. I never honestly had a good back and forth game, but all in all, how do I feel about the build, right? That's what I'm going to wrap up this video with that. In terms of getting your Regidrago V-Stars powered up, it's not as good as Arceus, but having that Charizard as an attacking option, I do like it. So I kind of like the list. I like the build. I probably, is 1 Capturing Aroma helpful in the list or not? Should it be rope? Should it be switch? Are they the right stadiums? Things like that are questions. Is Jacq really a card that I want in the list? Those are things to tweak, but that's okay, right? All lists get tweaked. I do think it's a solid way to play Regidrago. Regidrago's fun to play, a little box style deck I enjoy, and give it a try. It's another way to play Regidrago. I think it's a valid way, and I think you'll have some success with it. Take care.